If you're enjoying this Med Prep to Go Step 1 podcast, you can now get the content along with the content of the Crush Step 1 podcast ad-free in one bundle. Just go to medprep2go.com and find our new subscription podcast called Med Prep to Go Step 1 Bundle.
Every who down in Who Newville liked the holidays a ton, but where to get great prices on gifts, they had no idea. None. They searched and they searched for great gifts under $25. Gifts for spouses and friends and even their toddlers. When suddenly one who shouted, Walmart has what you want, knowing they have Lego, Tree Hut, and low prices to flaunt. So they enjoy the holiday season as who's often do. Cheering and shouting, Walmart has incredible gifts. Who knew? Find gifts they'll love under $25 at Walmart.
Oh, Hilton stay, your beds are soft and cozy. No lumpy couch, no stiff futon, no shower line at crack of dawn. Oh, Hilton stay, a holiday you're saving.
When you want holiday comfort you can count on, it matters where you stay. This season, enjoy spacious, comfortable rooms and friendly service when you book with Hilton instead. Hilton for the stay.
Abercrombie Kids is bringing the cheer all holiday season and the gifts too. No matter how long their wish list is, there's always room for just one more. Whether it's a new winter coat, an extra pair of jeans, or cozy matching sweat sets, get gifting with looks they've been waiting for all year. Shop Abercrombie Kids in the app, online, and in stores.
Hi, I'm Dr. Raj, and I'm a quadruple board-certified doctor in pulmonary, critical care, sleep medicine, and my favorite, internal medicine. I've been teaching USMLE Steps 1, 2, and 3 for the past 20 years, and I teach internal medicine board review and subspecialty boards, and I am the author, creator of the Beyond the Pearls brand, which is a book series published by Elsevier, and I got my own podcast too, but today, I will be reviewing 3 behavioral science questions, and if you enjoy these questions, which I hope, you can get more of them at the website, www.medprep2go.com. This is a free audio and online question bank, and if you want to learn more about me, you can check me out on my website, beyondthepearls.net, hear about my books, hear about my own podcast, which is called Beyond the Pearls, which really is a case-based podcast to hear what is the next best test? What do you want to do in a basic science integrated with clinical format? And check me out on all my social media stuff. Let's get to these questions. So question number 1 is going to be, an 18-year-old man is brought to the physician by his mother. After he has become increasingly withdrawn over the past year, the patient's mother says that he no longer likes to leave the house or hang out with his friends, despite being a very social teenager prior to this year. She describes episodes where she hears him talking loudly and angrily in the room, but when she goes to check on him, he is not on the phone and there's no one else in the room with him. She also describes episodes where the patient refuses to leave his bed, saying he feels depressed and worthless. During these episodes, he refuses to eat, go to school, or take part in any activity, saying he's too tired and he can't focus. The patient's mother becomes tearful while explaining this to the doctor because the patient appears unemotional and disinterested. The physician requests to speak with the patient alone. Upon further questioning, the patient admits that he has been hearing voices for the past 9 months that tell him he is disgusting and useless. He feels that the government is trying to get into his head to manipulate him, but he does not want to tell his mother because he is afraid that they have already gotten to her. A few times in the last year, he admits to being so depressed that he is not able to leave his bed. However, he says that he has not felt depressed in the last several months. During the interview, the patient suddenly stops speaking to the doctor and looks around wildly, saying, "Stop talking to me." When the physician asks, "Who are you speaking with?" the patient says that the voice of an older male has been bothering him for the past several months. Which of the following is the most likely diagnosis? A, depression with psychotic features. B, major depressive disorder. C, schizoaffective disorder, D, schizophrenia, E, schizophreniform disorder. And the answer is, yeah, it's C, everyone. Great job. Patient with schizoaffective disorder met the criteria for schizophrenia in addition to a major mood disorder, either major depressive disorder or bipolar disorder, and have greater than 2 weeks of hallucinations or delusions without any major mood episodes. This patient meets criteria for schizophrenia because he hears auditory hallucinations, has a delusion about the government manipulating him, and has negative symptoms of anhedonia and a flattened affect. He's been having these symptoms for 9 months, and a diagnosis of schizophrenia requires symptoms for greater than 6 months. He also meets criteria for episodes of major depressive disorder with depressed mood, changes in sleep, anhedonia, feelings of worthlessness, fatigue, concentration problems, and lack of appetite. He says he has not felt depressed for several months, but he has continued to hear voices for several months. Thus, he has had greater than 2 weeks of hallucinations without a mood episode, and he meets all criteria for schizoaffective disorder. In depression with psychotic features, patient meets criteria for major depressive disorder, but only have psychotic features during a depressive episode. This patient hears voices even when he's not feeling depressed. This patient does meet criteria for major depressive disorder. However, his additional psychotic symptoms warrant a more comprehensive diagnosis. This patient does meet criteria for schizophrenia. However, his additional mood symptoms warrant a more comprehensive diagnosis. Patients with schizophreniform disorder meet criteria for schizophrenia, but only have symptoms for a period of 1 to 6 months. This patient has experienced symptoms for at least 9 months, and thus schizophreniform disorder is not an accurate diagnosis. So our learning point here is patients with schizoaffective disorder meet criteria for schizophrenia and have a major mood disorder and have had at least 2 weeks of psychotic symptoms without a major mood episode. Next case. We have a 38-year-old woman presents to her physician with a chief complaint of trouble sleeping and feeling depressed for several months. So this case is right up my alley being a sleep specialist. She used to love her job as an architect, but now she dreads going to work every day and finds it extremely difficult to be productive at work. She feels guilty that she has not been able to perform at work in the same way she did in the past. When she gets home, she's exhausted and skips dinner and gets to bed by 7:30 p.m. However, she usually tosses and turns and can't fall asleep, till 1 a.m. in the morning. Which of the following sleep changes would be expected in this patient? Well, choice A, decrease sleep onset latency. I'm not really feeling that. I don't want to give away the answer. It says in the vignette, if she's going to bed at 7:30, she's not falling asleep till 1 a.m. Well, it's going to be an increased sleep onset latency. All right, I'm not going to give away the answers anymore. B, increased total sleep time. C, increased sleep efficiency. D, increased slow wave sleep. Or E, repeated nighttime awakenings. And the answer is E. So when we talk about depression, it's the hardest thing in the whole world. And when you treat depression, when we use medications such as SSRIs, well, they affect our sleep too. And SSRIs really inhibit REM. And many SSRIs will cause things like insomnia. Why? Serotonin is an alerting neurotransmitter. So it's really a lot of chicken and the egg. Are you depressed because you're not sleeping? Or is the lack of sleep making you depressed? And is medications being thrown in the mix also contributing to some of the sleep issues here? So it is kind of confusing. But when we go through these answer choices, A, I mentioned already, when you're depressed, it will be an increased sleep onset latency, and total sleep time will be decreased. Your sleep efficiency is going to be decreased, and you get less slow wave sleep. Another word for slow wave sleep is delta sleep or N3 sleep, which is a very important stage of sleep, where it helps out with cognition, helps out with memory. It helps rejuvenate the body both mentally and physically. And when you have depression, you get decreased slow wave sleep. So the right answer is E, repeated nighttime awakenings, which is another word for sleep maintenance insomnia. And it's something that definitely needs to be addressed. So what are going to be some of the key learning points here? Sleep changes associated with major depressive disorders include having a decreased slow wave sleep, increased sleep onset latency, decreased total sleep time, decreased sleep efficiency, decreased slow wave sleep, and of course, this is going to all result in repeated nighttime awakens.
When the holidays start to feel a bit repetitive, reach for a Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry and put your twist on tradition. A bold cranberry and winter spice flavor fusion, Sprite Winter Spiced Cranberry is a refreshing way to shake things up this sipping season. And only for a limited time. Sprite. Obey your thirst.
This episode is brought to you by Indeed. You're ready to move your business forward, but first, you need to find the right team. Start your search with Indeed-sponsored jobs. It can help you reach qualified candidates fast, ensuring your listing is the first one they see. According to Indeed data, sponsored jobs are 90% more likely to report a hire than non-sponsored jobs. See the results for yourself. Get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply.
One last question. We have a 69-year-old woman is transported to the emergency department by emergency medical services after a fall in a nursing home. She is accompanied by several family members who report a history of severe Alzheimer's dementia. She has had several recent falls, which require emergency department visits, and a near fatal bout of pneumonia 2 months ago, which required prolonged hospitalization. During the most recent inpatient stay, her son, who is the healthcare power of attorney, signed documents for do not resuscitate (DNR) and do not intubate (DNI) orders in the event of a cardiac or respiratory arrest. On physical exam, she is noted to be obtunded and then goes into cardiac arrest. She has no palpable pulses, her respirations are irregular, her daughter and grandson asked the medical staff to begin CPR, cardiopulmonary resuscitation. Which of the following is the most appropriate action by the medical staff? Is it A, consult the critical care team to begin cardiopulmonary resuscitation? B, consult the hospital ethics committee for recommendations? C, do not pursue intubations or resuscitation efforts? D, intubate the patient and begin chest compressions and place her on mechanical ventilation? E, obtain a court order to intubate and resuscitate this patient? C is the right answer. Do not pursue intubation or resuscitation efforts. During the patient's previous stay in the hospital, DNI and DNR orders were placed by the son, who is the patient's healthcare power of attorney. In this case, the patient's son acts as the healthcare proxy because the patient not only has severe Alzheimer's disease, but is also unresponsive and thus lacking decision-making ability. In this case, healthcare power of attorney has already been determined legally, and ventilation and cardiopulmonary resuscitation has been declined due to the patient's progressively worsening health status. A court order would not change the decision and would not be obtained quickly enough to intervene in this situation. So our learning point here is surrogate decision makers who have health care, also known as durable power of attorney status, have the right to refuse care on behalf of a patient who does not have decision-making capacity. Well, that's it, folks. Those are the 3 questions for this podcast. And check out more questions at our website, www.medprep2go.com.
Hi, everyone. This is Ted O'Connell. I just want to let you know that we have launched a Step 2 qbank podcast, very similar to our Step 1 qbank podcast. Each episode will have 3 questions so that you can study on the go. We are actively recording these and plan to release a new episode every 2 weeks. We're also launching a premium podcast bundle that will include ad-free access to USMLE Step 2 Secrets podcast, as well as early and ad-free access to all of our episodes from the Step 2 qbank podcast. So please go over to our website at medprep2go.com and check these out, or you can access them wherever you get your podcasts. Thanks so much.